Welcome to another video covering another one of the dungeons in Final Fantasy XIV, and this time we're doing Deepcroft, which I accidentally started this one a bit later than normally would have intended to, because I didn't realise I hadn't recorded this one yet. So here we go. I mean, to start off as always, just, you know, don't pull too many. We've got ourselves a Choco Man as well. In this little run I got myself a Formatage and a Black Mage, so we've got plenty of little AoEs here and there. This is pretty much the look I'm going to be going with my little Aura ult for a while as well, because I quite like it. But yeah, this dungeon's like one of, I think, it's one of the first few you do. It's level 19. It was think it's level 19, but I think you can do it like level 17. Actually, some interesting little mechanics in this place as well. Unlike, say, some of the others where there's like no mechanics whatsoever almost, this place does have mechanics. Also, don't forget to drink your milk or whatever food you want to eat. That 3% extra buff is really, really, really good. Ignore a lot of the skills once again in the bars. Only the ones that actually highlighted. Then again, you can't really tell because they're mostly kind of... it's hard to tell if it's greyed out or not. That's pretty much what I'm going to be rolling with when it gets to 80, because it's the same as my Bunbun on Twintania, which is level 80. I like doing it with the my ult at the moment, because it shows you can do it with the gear that you've got. Although at this point, I believe I actually have the level 50, 45 artifact gear. Anyway, a lot of these mobs you'll be fighting just some carrion beetles, some freaking NPCs, and some zombies basically. Nothing too excessive. There'll be a few casters you might have to run over and go grab though. Just keep using that tomahawk, shield throw, whatever it is you're using, lightning shot. Grab them up. I personally, I feel that that is a much better way of grabbing aggro as a tank, and would recommend getting into the sort of practice of using it than using provoke. Provoke is still alright, but like if you're in desperate need, it's why provoke isn't even assigned to a button. You can do basically tomahawk, provoke, and then tomahawk if you're playing warrior to grab everybody. But honestly, you get AoE so early, you might as well just tomahawk, and then just keep overpowering until you're like, yeah, these are my guys. Alright, first boss time. 2 Gravediggers and a Dalamud Priest. Take out the Gravediggers, not even a problem. Just make sure you got the aggro on them. These guys are really, really easy. Dalamud Priest, you can see his health is just frickin' being destroyed. The actual boss comes after these guys die. A Void Scent will appear. Quite an important thing to do here. The Void Soul counter appears. When you see End Thunder, I highly suggest having Interject or Head Graze or whatever it is, like the interrupt for spellcasting, ready. As I just highlight that, Interject. That will interrupt that, and you will avoid a crap ton of damage. And by the time that's on cooldown, well, off of cooldown, sorry, it will try and cast it again. But if your team is anything like my one here, like with our wonderful Choco Boy and Lalafell, it will pretty much be dead. Oh, sorry, I said it was a Formatage. That's actually an Arcanist. I forgot, like, they actually are putting dots on and stuff, because at this point I was thinking, wait, they're not putting any damages over time and stuff like that, like Bio and Miasma. They are. I have it set where it actually doesn't show anyone else's debuffs but my own. But there you go, first boss. First boss, easy. You can even, I believe you can also do a low blow to stun him as well if you need to. But yeah, interrupt that in Thunder. And it's plain sailing for the fight. You do yourself a favour, you do the healer a favour, and it just makes the fight a lot easier. Yeah, just make your way through the dungeon. This is where normally most people are like, why are you cutting this sort of thing? Hey, I want to show the dungeon run, okay? It's fun. Yeah, I love just seeing everyone else's glams as well when you see them in the dungeons. And Arcanist / Summoner was one of my first few little ones I leveled. In fact, it was the first one I leveled really to 50 back in ARR. You'll always know when you see a good Summoner or not when they decide to whip out Garuda for trash. At least personally, because Garuda is more AoE based, you see. or Emerald Carbuncle. Topaz Carbuncle, I believe, or it's just Bronze Carbuncle, I can't remember, is, or used to be more of an actual sort of tanking pet back in the day. Since they've changed the way the pet system works, it's no longer that way. It's just like a melee DPS that gives you some damage mitigation. At this level, it's good, but I believe you would still be better off using Emerald. Pick up all the loot you can do. You never know what might be in those chests. But one little overpower slash whatever AoE, you know, you use to grab aggro will pretty much hit everything. Just remember, if you are playing Warrior, you have to make sure to angle the overpower because it's like a conal attack and not an actual circular one. Whereas everybody else is Paladin, Dark Knight, Gunbreaker. If you're tanking with those instead, they will be a circular. So just be in the middle. There you go, another Void Sword counter. Oh, in Thunder? I don't think so, sir. I don't think so. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention too. After you've killed the bosses, for the love of God, click those cultist orbs. So many people just like run away from it. Like I'm guilty of this too, because I always just leave everyone else to do it. But if you're the tank, unless there's another melee, you're usually the one that's there. So just right click it. Otherwise you can't progress. That Yasmin feeder is just like wanting to jump off the edge there. I have those feelings. Sometimes these days when I'm working, oh my God, please. It's madness right now. That's the mood right there. With this astrologist as well, like at this level, Asps don't really have great healing capabilities. I know this because I've leveled one myself. So, don't go too crazy, at least compared to a White Mage. Like, they don't have their heal over time. Because I'm not sure if you get regen at this point as well for White Mage or Conjurer. Just don't go too crazy with the pulls here. They don't have a ton of health. They all die slowly. Just always keep using your Reprisal, keep using your arm's length as well, just to slow them down so it takes longer for them to attack and use their spells and stuff too, or skills. At this point, all you've got really for mitigation is literally Rampart and Reprisal. The one that's on F2 is a damage boost, so you could always use that to hurt them to kill them before they kill you. Whereas I believe with like Gladiator you have Shieldtron, maybe as well as Rampart, so you have that a bit more damage mitigation. Dark Knight, you're screwed. Like, Dark Knight, honestly, like, pre-70 is just, oh my God. I still would say it's one of the hardest ones. Now, we've got quite a few casters here. So, ideally, grab the melee and drag them back to the casters so you make sure that they're on you. If you really need to, and you can't really find the time to sort of get them over, like, obviously, overpower and then just kick them. You use the low blow to interrupt the casters and they will run over to you afterwards, because they'll be stunned to begin with. Forgot about that. I mean, you can also interject as well, if you want to. And I'm really enjoying doing these little videos as well, so hopefully you guys are enjoying these as a little series. Now at this point, that is a boss room sort of thing, but it's actually really weird. You can keep these mods with you. You'll find these 3 enemies here. Just grab them up, kill them. The groundsmen are the melee and that one Varley there. The Varleys can be either using a spear or using casters. You can see there, the Akmena Varleys. In fact, it's the Akmena Varleys that use the freaking the casting. Oops. I'm a professional here. I totally didn't at first name the 1000 Moors video as Tamtai Deepcroft, thinking it was that one instead. I totally never get those two mixed up ever. Like, come on, please. I will also be covering the new content in 5.4, not to date the video, which I likely am. It's not out yet. Can't wait for that. Now this room here, you've got like 2 melee and 2 casters. You don't have to use limit break, but the guy here used limit break for some reason. Ideally, best option here is grab the 2 melee to begin with, use your power, then pull back to 1, use like your ranged aggro ability on the other one. Just make sure they're attacking you. If they are attacking somebody else, it's not the end of the world. Like, the mobs here don't hit hard enough where it's like instant death for DPS. Once they're dead, grab the cultist rosary. Now you can actually get past that barrier. Assert dominance by overpowering like crazy. This seems like it's worse. It's not. Like, it actually only really spawns one more of those void scent as well. So just grab everything up. Those gravediggers are a pain. This might be a good idea to use, because I use Rampart here as well. But it'd be a good idea to use Rampart. And definitely Reprisal. Use your damage mitigation abilities here. There will be a lot of casters. So just like try and not do it. And then save your interject for this guy once more. You don't have to have, because I have it set to Shift F4, Shift 4, so not Shift F4. Do whatever's comfortable for you, really. Like, my overlay is what I like to have. I like mine being kind of cluttered, and it makes sense for me to have it the way I have it. I certainly use Condemnation or whatever it is, just move to the side. So I tried to cast him Thunder at the end, but it was on cooldown again, so I can actually interrupt it. Alright, now we've got the big boy coming up. I did this place before and forgot to record it at that point as well. Hello, Galvanth, the Dominator, which is our lovely, lovely mind player. I mean, look at him. Isn't he just amazing? Now, it's really straightforward. Just when you start the fight, just go into him and lay those deeps in. After a certain percentage, it always will be a health percentage usually. He'll become invulnerable, go freaking kill the enemy that is tethered to him, as shown there. When he gets to about 50%, I believe it is, he will start to spawn more mobs as well. Make sure you grab those. He'll also tether again, I think, to 2. No, this time he's tethering again. Here we go, here's the mobs. I think that's about more 65 than 50. It's weird with the percentage. Like, when I went through here for my own reborn weapon, because I had to do this a lot for my light, you can, if lucky, kill him before he gets to tether anything. I was just an experiment to see if you could low blow him. You can't low blow him. It's just the point where I'm like, excuse me, healer. I think the healer went a bit AFK. It's like, can I have some heals, please? I will have to use a high potion to revive. I think they had a bit of an issue happen. There was definitely a bit of a panic at this point. Now, if your healer doesn't go AFK, you can see how much I'm sort of staying alive. Thank you. This is the point where I'm like, oh thank God, they're alive again. Here we go. Here's the 2 tethers. At this point, I was like, God damn you for going AFK. You could have those mobs for a little bit. I do take them off him eventually. But I knew for a fact he wouldn't die anytime soon just for having those on him. Like, he'll be fine. And I thought, right, alright, fine. I still like to get some combinations at the end of this. I'm not vindictive, you're vindictive. That's pretty much the fight. Like, he'll do Mind Blast. Definitely don't get stuck in Mind Blast. Forgot to mention that. Don't get stuck in Mind Blast because that will paralyze you. And I gave it to my Chocobo bro because he looks amazing. Anyway, that's Tamtaro Deepcroft. Thank you very much, and that's another video. Once again, I stream like this live almost at least 2 to 3 times a week on twitch.tv/Wobsy. Might actually be streaming it later today. If this gets uploaded today, being a Sunday, which is very unlikely. Anyway, thank you once again. Take care of yourselves. Ta-ra.